in some of the technologies within design, e-learning design, you can now clone a voice. And what we've said is, no, we're turning that off.
There are some pretty terrifying use cases out there.
A woman looking professional and the woman's in some short skirt and loads of makeup, and that's not what we want to project necessarily to the world. The quality of the content that we're pushing into the internet, the biases that are coming through, if we are feeding it those biases, it's only going to play that back to us, and that's scary.
Well, we're having a blast already. We have Sarah Troy from Liberty Mutual with us today on Generating, and we're so excited to chat about AI in insurance and underwriting, and it does sound like it's going to be a really great conversation.
So Sarah, it's the first time in a long time you've been down to Learning Live. What made you come this year?
I think for me, it was all about AI. It's a big development opportunity for me. I really want to understand it. I want to know what we can do with it in our organisation, how I can support the underwriting community to really make good use of it, and what is going on in our industry. What should I be understanding, and what can I utilise and take away?
And the hot topic of Learning Live and of AI and everything in terms of learning is when to use human skills and when to use AI skills, and when organizations should best balance that. How has Liberty decided how best to blend both?
Yeah, so we have a blend of technical and strategic and interpersonal skills. So they go hand in hand. For us, some of our interpersonal and strategic would be communication, would be negotiation, would be critical thinking. And then that AI component, what tools within AI can we use, can we utilise, can make a difference to us and support those underwriters to build capabilities and skills in that area.
Do you have a partnership with OpenAI? Is that?
No, we don't. We have internal teams and infrastructure there that have done test cases and then brought about the Liberty GPT creation and then rolled it out as a pilot, and then we had great uptake, and now we've got the hub where people can share knowledge, information, insights and ask questions to experts really in that area.
So it's an internal.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, so it's just for us really in the generative piece. So really for us to understand what tasks it can do for us that will help us be more efficient, proficient in our role, and
And can people create their own agents in the
this is something that they're just thinking about rolling out and bringing that into having little assistants, and that's something we're trialing. And I think again that's probably a bit of a steeper learning curve for people. I think we're quite comfortable almost using it as a search engine. Yes, people can type things into Liberty GPT and get an answer, and that feels more comfortable. I think when you're then saying, oh, okay, what can it do for me, and do I trust that? And I think there's exploration in that area, really.
Yeah, I think when you build agents and then you move to true sort of agentic agents taking tasks away, then that practice gap we talked about earlier gets even bigger, I think, where people stop doing even more.
Absolutely. And I think for me, within the insurance industry, I can see the real potential for what I would say are homogenous risks. So home and motor insurance, where frequency is really high, severity is quite low. We're in, specialty and reinsurance, and it's quite niche. So for me, I can see more opportunity in that motor home insurance space of supporting, claims or potentially policy creation. In our world, we need more of that human factor. So there's probably, I don't know, maybe less opportunities in there, or my brain doesn't go to that straight away because I feel there's a lot of nuances in what we do versus homogenous risks in the industry.
Yeah. But it's also just about applying AI in the spots that matter.
Yeah.
Like you were saying before too.
Yeah.
So it could equally be that there's a foundation using AI and then the human comes in and brings the nuance.
Yeah. Absolutely. And I think it's knowing the capabilities and the right way to go and making those decisions. And I think that's where the critical thinking element comes in. So within our skills that we're building out for our underwriters, we've got priorities on technical, we've got priorities on strategic and interpersonal. And for me, if you've got AI embedded in your business, you need to then dial up the more personal pieces and elements and skills. So communication, negotiation, critical thinking, all those things will ensure that you're not just popping something in, getting a response and going with it. You need to be really thinking and analysing what those responses are and how it's working and what benefits AI is bringing.
I guess just thinking about, are you now using AI to help people learn those skills as well?
Yes, I'd say we're definitely at the beginning. So we do Insight series sessions where we ask leaders to talk about how they're utilising AI, what the strategy is, where we're going with it. So those are really powerful sessions that are available to all our colleagues. So we deliver those over Teams Live and we get lots of participation. And that's the awareness piece. I think then it comes to the embedding piece and what do we do with that information? How do we make a difference? And we ensure that there's training available to our underwriters to show them what AI is. So again, it's the awareness piece, and then what they can do within their roles differently, how they can apply it and make those changes.
Yeah. Have you found that you needed to update some of the training that you'd made before so that, for instance, now that you're using Liberty GPT, have some of that training needed updating to factor in the fact that AI is also part of the workflow?
Yeah, we build that into our instructional design, for example. So the tools we use now have AI features.
Yeah.
We were talking about this earlier, right? Some of those are great features and some of those, I don't know. So for example, in some of the technologies within design, e-learning design, you can now clone a voice. So they could clone my voice, they could clone a CEO's voice, they could clone a CEO's voice, and that could then be utilised for future training or presentations. And what we've said is, no, we're turning that off. And that, for me, is really about the deepfake piece. So what we're seeing online, how that's, utilised, what people are doing with it, I think is a little bit scary at times. So we're thinking that that's not the right way for us to go, and we need to be aware of the pros and cons to that.
Yeah. You mentioned earlier about the dark side of AI. I heard a scary or terrifying kind of story about how right now, sometimes you get those scam calls.
Oh, yeah.
And you don't hear anything when you pick it up, but you say a few words, and even from a few words, they can clone your voice from just those few words before you hang up.
Oh, wow.
So now I had a bad habit of answering my phone all the time, but now I really don't answer anymore.
I never answer my phone. It's always on spot.
I like talking to people. I like being on the phone and calling people and getting the answers I want. So yeah, definitely. I think voice cloning has its benefits. Where you are able to, personalize some of the learning in a more, lower production kind of way. But there are some pretty terrifying use cases out there that
Absolutely.
should
And I think, is it the iPhone that's now put a feature in that it will pick up calls for you? So if it's an unknown number, it comes up as scam call.
Oh.
So this is a new feature. So it comes up as scam call. It can answer the phone for you. It can record it as a voicemail and then play it back to you and ring you back. And then you can play that back. And then you can decide whether that was someone you wanted to talk to and ring back, which probably is the reason they've done that, to your point of what's happening out there. If they're cloning your voice, you don't really want to be answering that phone to someone that you don't know, because they could be doing that. And also, I think it's just exponentially, accelerating the technology. I think we're struggling all to keep up with it and understand it and know the dangers. I've been caught out on a phishing scam before, but only in the sense of with work we have testers. So sometimes they'll just send you on to make sure that you're not, clicking on the wrong thing. I've clicked it and I've gone, how did I click that? Because I reread it after and thought, no way, I would not, the email was wrong.
Yeah.
And I just thought, because I was so into my work, I just didn't click on. I just saw one note, clicked it. I thought, oh, now I need to do some training.
They're so sophisticated these days. So yeah.
Although, but actually it was worse to do some e-learning.
No, don't. It's so upsetting because it's never happened to me before. So the fact, that kind of feeling inside where you think, oh, how did it get me? So it's just...
So the same. I'm similar as you. It's just again the same. Just a rushing. I'll just think, okay, yeah.
But it is, those are the dangers I feel with AI. It's, the quality of the content that we're seeing from the internet, the quality of the content that we're pushing into the internet, the biases that are coming through. If we are feeding it those biases, it's only going to play that back to us, and that's scary. I've had where you've tried to create a picture, for example, in ChatGPT, and you said, a woman looking professional, and the woman's in some short skirt and loads of makeup, and that's not what we want to project necessarily to the world, and that's not what we see as being a professional woman. But to AI, maybe that's what it's been fed, and that's what's coming back in that way.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a constant battle, isn't it? Risk and mitigation and finding out these biases. I guess reinsurance is fast-moving, constant requirement for update. How do you make sure Liberty GPT is sort of always current and fresh?
Yeah, I think for us, it's it's an evolution. It's not a disruptor. We don't want it to be all in, let's do everything via AI. We are being cautious and careful and thoughtful in what we're doing and how we're doing it. And that's why we have teams of people involved in what we're creating. We have compliance all over it. We ensure that we've got policies around the use of our Liberty GPT and our AI. And I think that's what's making it work very well for us, because we're not all in. It's not, oh, okay, this fun tool's come along, let's just do everything through it. It's, what are the benefits? How will it support us? And how can it ensure that our underwriters and our employees actually get some benefit from it, and the company and organization does too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, thanks so much for having this chat with us. I learned so much more about underwriting and AI within Liberty, and it's really great to hear all about kind of the AI use in a company that I think is a bit more mature on the AI journey. And I had a really great time chatting with you.
Thank you. Thank you very much. I hope you find we're looking for the LPI event.
Yeah, absolutely. And my first introduction to a podcast. So thanks for having me. Thanks for taking me through it. Really enjoyed it.
Pleasure. Thanks so much.
Thanks so much.
I've been Pete.
I've been Cheryl. Please definitely stay tuned for the next episodes of Generating.